Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Gothic Night Baseball here on NJCU GothicKnights.com. First broadcast of the season here on Gothic Vision, as today on the second game of the 2017 spring trip. NJCU, looking for its first win, takes on the St. Vincent College baseball program, opening its 2017 season here in Florida. So two teams looking for their first win of the year. The Gothic Knights, game two of a 6-game trip down here in Florida. And you can hear the wind through my microphone. It's been a factor in the previous games. There was a doubleheader, 2 7-inning games on this field prior to ours, and the wind really getting a hold of the baseball. On a 72-degree day here in Auburndale, Florida, as I just sprinted across the Gothic Knights in the 2017 opener, the 70th season of NJCU baseball. We'll give you the lineup here in a moment, as it'll be Dave Culleton pitching for St. Vincent, throwing to Zach Buckholz. And first pitch is fouled towards us. The lineup today for the Gothic Knights: Zach Buckholz, the shortstop, leads off. He's followed by Bill Feehan, who had a big game yesterday in his NCAA debut, going 4 for 5. Nick Racino, the all-conference senior for the Gothic Knights, now in center field after playing left field last year, and second base as a freshman and sophomore. He's in the 3 spot. Dan Berardi is the cleanup hitter. He plays first base. That hit Buckholz, and Buckholz will go down to first base, giving the Gothic Knights a leadoff batter on base. I'm also doing scoreboard at the same time, so this is a little complicated, but we're going to pull this off today. Now bring up Bill Feehan, who we mentioned went 4 for 5 in his NCAA debut. The Gothic Knights expect a lot out of this freshman from Point Pleasant, New Jersey. And first pitch called strike. In the 5th spot in the lineup is Lennon Gomez, the DH. He'll be followed by Joe Catino, the right fielder. The senior did not play yesterday. He's in the lineup for the first time this year, batting 6th. Jeff Reinecke, he bats 7th and plays second base. CJ Paulsini catches. Ground ball back to the pitcher. He looks momentarily a little wide of second base, but in time for the force, and it's a 1-6. So Buckholz retired 1-6, Fian at first, and I'll bring up Nick Racino, who had one hit yesterday in his season opener. The Gothic Knights will be C.J. Pulsini catching, collegiate player. He's in the 9th spot playing third base. You can hear the wind. We are in open air press box behind home plate today. Wild pitch. Fian takes off, and the Gothic Knights have a runner in scoring position. Racino has 112 hits. A two-time second-team academic All-NJAC selection as well, a very good student in the classroom for the Gothic Knights. And Berardi chops that towards third. Third baseman has to reach second. A batter will be the center fielder, Luke Fox. I just refreshed the stream, so hopefully that's enough to get us back on the air, folks. Again, with the wind, this is probably going to happen multiple times today. We apologize. We're at the mercy of Mother Nature, unfortunately. And that is inside, and Gibney. Bunks Finn in the middle of the back, a hit by pitch. And the bases are loaded with one. There, the Gothic Knight pitching coach have to have a conversation with Gibney in this spot start. I don't think expected to start today. This was a late decision by the coaching staff, with 16 played down here in a short window of time. NJCU came down late Friday night on Saturday morning. Played yesterday, one game final. 4 games on this trip will all be morning games beginning tomorrow with a doubleheader, 2 7-inning games against your Sinus. And JCU lost by a 1-run. They're up 2-0 here, but the bases are loaded. And stepping in will be the third baseman, Chris Winkler. Gibney, with not much room for airtime, is called by Winkler. We say hello to Alyssa McGee, NJCU Athletic Communications Assistant and women's volleyball team captain, watching the game back in Jersey City, or Kearney, New Jersey. We got relief here. Somebody's going to run the scoreboard so I don't have to do 4 jobs at once. That is a... That's a called strike. Count now even at 2-2. Big spot here for Winkler, the number 5 batter in the lineup for the 2-0 Gothic Knights, bottom of the first, this 9-inning game here in Auburndale, Florida. 3-1 ground out, RBI. Kokiri hit 250 a year ago with a... Pulsini and Steven Ramos, the second base. And that's good. Very, very windy here in Auburndale, Florida. We are at Lake Myrtle Park, field number 4. Gothic Knights will play 2 games in this complex on their 6-game trip. Tomorrow will be at Buddy Thomas Stadium in Leesburg, Florida. That's up in Horton. 4 years ago, the last time I made this trip with the baseball program. Cooney standing on second base. He's got the 2-run double that right now is the difference early in this game. Curve just outside. As a pitch that Lorenzo, when he can locate it, is going to get a lot of players out this year. Here, hopefully with a better stream now that won't buffer as much, and it'll be Jeff Frankie leading off. He takes strike one from the pitch. His first 4 bats of the season, and the Gothic Knights had the leadoff man on. So fans, if there was a Pulsini, his first hit of the year, and he hit it hard. And Albremos, his first collegiate at bat, did not, as he pulls that in and prevents runners from possibly advancing. Brennan Hoffer is an RBI single, and we're back to the top of the order. It'll be up 4-3, and it'll be the 9. Back out there for a second inning of work is young Ricky Lorenzo, the freshman out of Morristown. Only northwestern New Jersey native on the roster for the Gothic Knights, who are very central Jersey heavy in the roster, as they've been for the last few years, with a coaching staff that their background is in central Jersey and they reside there. Toms River, for those who are not New Jersey natives, is very well known for its baseball. For the Gothic Knights, with some very good collegiate players. The 1-2 pitch chopped off the plate, and they'll do it again. Lorenzo, a business finance major, went to Morristown High School. At bat. Maroney soft, and that's high. That's fouled off to our right. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, it takes 3 consecutive players to either reach base by walk or hit by pitch in the first inning. And I think it hit Fox. Sang and hit him, so he reaches base for the second time. And I'll bring up the designated hitter Martin, who walked and also later scored. Head coach Jerry Smith out to have a conversation with the home plate umpire Lou Bonacci. Didn't think it hit him. Field umpire today is Jim McCullough. If you're a baseball umpire living in Florida, this time of year pays your mortgage. Throw back to first. Berardi applies the tag, but sliding safely is Fox. Wow, that wind. Whipping right through the box right now on the microphone. Popped in the air as Fox takes off. Going back is Catino. The wind is taking it, and it is gone. You could see Catino try to settle underneath it, and the wind kept carrying it and eventually took it over the right center field fence. It's a 2-run home run for the designated hitter Greg Martin, and the Bearcats lead 6-3.
Second, isn't it?
Yes. What was the pitch count?
That was first pitch, I thought.
And the next pitch is lined down the left field line. That is a base hit for Finn. He rounds first. On his way to second, he'll be there with a stand-up double. 2 pitches, 2 extra base hits for St. Vincent. So double down the left field line. And Lorenzo, who looked really good early on, including back-to-back strikeouts, has now given up a home run and a double, and the lead is 6-3. Winkler, the third baseman, steps in. St. Vincent, members of the President's Athletic Conference, I should say, 17-20 last year, 10-14 in the league. They actually had a better record on the road last year, 9-7, than they did at home, where they were 5-9. Curve drops in, and that's a strike. There's 2 away here. That's high. Throw down to second base. And back in safely is Finn. Ground ball, that is foul, the bag. Should be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Winkler drove in a run when he grounded out to first base. That came in the first inning. St. Vincent halfway around the lineup here in the second inning. That's popped in the air, foul off to our left, and it's going to land on the field. Actually, it landed right on top of the concession stand between these 2 fields. If you went to go get a t-shirt, you just got yourself a souvenir as well. Lorenzo's thrown 18 pitches so far. 12 have been strikes, but 1 went over the fence, a home run. That's high. Winkler hit 297 last year with 21. He was one of 4 players on the Bearcat roster with 20 or last year. Time is called by the home plate umpire, Lou Bonacci. In at second base, Lorenzo, that is strike 3, his 3rd strikeout in just an inning and a third of work. A great 2 runs on 2 hits, a 2-run home run by Martin. Fan favorite Dan Berardi steps to the plate. Berardi grounded out to third base in the first inning. And first pitch is a called strike. He had 4 home runs a year ago in his first year back after missing an entire year and a half. Swing and a miss. He was going for broke on that one. Just misses. And he's behind 0-2. Berardi is capable of hitting the ball very, very far if he connects. That's chopped foul towards the St. Vincent dugout on our left side. St. Vincent's in the third base dugout today. The Gothic Knights in first base side. And Berardi just gets plunked on the left hip. And he tried to stretch out of the way of that one. Took it right on the left hip. He was at first base. Gives the Gothic Knights for the third inning in a row the leadoff runner on. And Lennon Gomez, who had an RBI single in the first, steps in, hitting .500 early on in his collegiate career. Gomez, who's wearing Alex Weinstein's former number 24. Many fans remember Alex Weinstein, the all-region stand-up for the Gothic Knights, who in his senior year had 22 doubles and 50 RBIs, both single-season records. Well, Lennon Gomez is wearing the number now, and he grounds that through the left side for a base hit. Diving attempt there by Cooney, but that was a perfectly placed ball by Gomez, who's 2 for 2. The criminal justice major out of Edison gives the Gothic Knights for the second inning in a row. Runners at first and second with nobody out. First pitch to Gomez. And I'll bring up Joe Catino. He struck out swinging in the first inning in his first at-bat of the 2017 season. There you see NJCU head coach Jerry Smith in the third base box. First pitch, Catino's on the outside corner, the right-handed hitting senior. That's off the plate. Catino became a starter during his sophomore year. He has 79 career hits. I'll make it 80 as he deposits that into left field. Berardi will stop at third, and the bases are loaded full of Gothic Knights. Jeff Reinecke steps to the plate. He's had a fantastic start to his senior campaign in his second year at NJCU, transferring over last year from Rutgers Newark, and he's been an everyday player for NJCU at second base. Had a single and a run scored in the second inning. Swings and misses at a pitch down and low. And the left-handed hitter for the Gothic Knights has a chance to draw NJCU closer. They trail 6-3. And lines it right back to the shortstop. Gomez is called out at second base. They're saying it's that he tagged the base in time. The second baseman for the Bearcats, Nick LaCava, was over there, so that's an L6-4 double play. Unlucky break there for NJCU. So now 2 away. Runners still in the corners, and it'll be C.J. Polsini. He had a single in the second inning. He steps up. Reinecke hit that one hard. A perfect positioning there for Cooney and LaCava as they team up for a 6-4 double play. That's low. Berardi's at third. Coutinho standing at first. Pulsini at the plate. A lot of experience in these three players. The defensive alignment, which I promised you earlier and I forgot to give you, is Colden throwing to Brennan Hoffer. Bobby Finn is at first. Nick LaCava at second. TJ Cooney at short. Chris Winkler is the third baseman. And a little confusion there on St. Vincent as they thought that was strike three, and that allows Coutinho to steal second base. So Coutinho takes off. One ball and two strikes to Pulsini. Off the plate. Should be 2-2. In the outfield for the Bearcats, Matt Barone in left, Luke Fox in center, and Eddie Kilkiri in right. And Pulsini fouls it off to our right, and it lands on field number 3 here at Lake Myrtle Sports Complex. Auburndale is in probably west central Florida, if you're looking at a map. Oh, Pulsini gets hit in the upper back there. Took it right above the number 9, probably on the shoulder blades it looked like. Painful spot to get hit. And he, at first base, stretching out a little bit. You could see him grimacing. That's why I became a volleyball player. Did not enjoy getting hit by pitches. Also couldn't hit at all. Maybe that's the real reason. And coaching staff here for St. Vincent. Head coach is Mick Janasco. Adam Ducati, assistant baseball coach. He's out there right now having a conversation with Colden, his starting pitcher. Colden last year for the Bearcats had a pretty good year, 4-3, 3.83 ERA, 16 strikeouts, 13 walks in 51 and 2/3 innings. Had a .226 opposing batting average. And Steven Ramos, who had an RBI single in his first NCAA at bat, steps in for the second inning in a row, and he chops that one foul. Bases are loaded. Pulsini at first, Coutinho at second, and Dan Berardi stands at third. Gothic Knights trailing 6-3 here in the top of the third. That's low. It was blocked in front of the plate there by Hoffer, and saw Ramos. 6 runs, 4 hits for St. Vincent, 3 runs, 7 hits for the Gothic Knights. A base hit! Berardi scores! Throw will be made! Now Steven Ramos. Nice way to start his collegiate career. 2 at-bats, 2 RBI singles. And this one actually is for 2 RBIs, so he now has an RBI single and a 2-run single. Pulsini went to second base. And if not for that line drive double play, who knows how this inning could have continued. Zach Buckholz, the shortstop, steps in, and that's off the plate for ball 1. Well, every once in a while you have some bad luck. Hopefully you follow it with some good luck, and that time Ramos put it in the perfect spot, splitting the left side of the infield. Buckholz, swing and a miss. And that's a line drive to right field. That's a base hit. Pulsini being waved around third. Here comes the throw. He's now had the red light put on at the last second by head coach Jerry Smith as an excellent throw came in from the right fielder Kilkiri. But the Gothic Knights now with 2 outs have the bases loaded again. First hit of the season for Zach Buchholz. And I'll bring up Bill Feehan, the left fielder, potential rookie of the year in the NJAC this year. And first pitch is off the plate. Feehan hitting .667, 4 hits in 6 at-bats. He also has a walk. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the first inning. Ground ball through the right side. That's a base hit. Pulsini scores. That'll tie the game. Here comes Ramos. Here comes the throw offline as Ramos had to leap over the catcher's backside, and he does so. He scores a 2-run single for Bill Feehan, and the Gothic Knights have taken a 7-6 lead. Continued timely hitting. Buchholz down to second as Ramos and Pulsini score. So 7-6 now, 10 hits through 3 innings for the Gothic Knights, and Nick Racino, the number 3 hitter, steps in or 2. And that pitch curve off the plate. Two balls right now to Racino. 86 early in the season. It's a base hit. Here comes Buchholz, and the Gothic on the throw. So a single to center field, an RBI for Racino. Feehan goes to third, and Buchholz scores. And I'll make the Dan Berardi fan club, which Davis. And we'll take a break. 8-6 Gothic Knights, 5 runs here. In the top of the third, we'll see if NJCU can add to that in just a moment. And I understand the feed froze again, so I just rebooted it. Hopefully will end the buffering. But with the way the wind is today, I have a feeling that might continue. Now 2-2 to Berardi. 8 runs, 11 hits for the Gothic Knights, 6-4 for St. Vincent. Berardi popped it straight up and foul back. Certainly on everybody trying to field a ball today. So a ground rule double to right field sends Kilkiri in the first inning in his first at bat. Ground ball. Ramos is going to go home with it. Chase down the runner. And off for nearly 2 days straight. Got hitting habits that lead to that. And that's why I did not graduate magna cum laude. 2 balls and no strikes. LaCava at first base, and Maroney hits it to right field. It's going to fall in front of Catino. 2 for 2 today, with a single and an RBI. NJCU's 3 freshmen in the lineup are combined 5 for 6 today. So Gomez pops that one over our heads, and Davis, really good pitch. And we believe we're back on the air here as on a 2 pitch there. Catino drops a single down the right field line. Underneath it and make lefties, 9 righties, and I think they're all going to pitch today. Here in the 4th inning, St. Vincent trailing the Gothic Knights by 1. They will bat for the 4th time, and they'll send up the designated hitter, Greg Martin, to the plate. His last appearance at the plate, hit the ball over the right center field fence for a 2-run home run. He's also walked. He has scored twice. That is way outside, Major League style. And that was way inside, and Martin's hit by the pitch. This is not a good day to be a pitcher with finesse, because the wind will absolutely wreak havoc. Curves, sliders, unless you have immaculate control today, not a good day. That's in the dirt, gets by Pulsini, wild pitch. So we believe the gremlins caused by the wind here with our feed have been fixed. I got a text from Ms. McGee and Carney saying that we are back up, so that's a good sign. Gothic Knights with their 4th pitcher of the game on the mound here in the 4th inning. They lead by 1. They have a 12-7 margin in hits right now, but the tying run standing at second base. The first baseman, Finn, has a 1-ball count. First strike thrown by Garrett's 1-1. Finn today is 1 for 1 with a double, a hit by pitch, and a run scored. And it's fouled back right towards us. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled back over our heads and off of the bathroom roof. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Garrett deals, the left-hander popped in the air. Foul territory, Pulsini drops the mask, reaches up, follows the play, and makes the catch. After the miscommunication in the 1st inning when a ball dropped between Pulsini and Ramos, that ended up as a base hit. No miscommunication this time, the senior catcher takes charge. The 3rd baseman, Winkler, will step in. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to first, which actually drove in a run, and he also struck out swinging. Swing and a miss. Garrett calls time. Successful start to the season in Fort Myers for the NJCU softball team. 2 games, 2 wins. They beat Clark 3-2. They beat Bridgewater State 7-6. And after going winless in a very, very challenging New Jersey Athletic Conference last year for the softball team, some new pieces to the puzzle, a lot more depth, and we expect them to have an improved season. That's fouled off down the left field line. Now it's getting blown back into fair territory. Look at this. And it's going to fall in for a base hit. Third. And out as Fian was to Buckholtz, who was covering the bag. That's a 7-6 at third base. So a base hit for Winkler, and Martin, who had the, I don't know why he held up there. He didn't really need to hold up. He could have gone halfway. So Kilkear steps in now. 2 away. Pop straight up. Keeping an eye on it, but it's going to foul over the screen. It takes 2 hops over a Parks and Recreation Department and 2 strikes. That's high. And the throw down to second base. And Reineke, on a perfect throw by Pulsini, thought he applied the tag in time. But the field umpire, Jim McCullough, says Winkler is safe, a stolen base, and we continue. I thought the tag was applied in plenty of time. And apparently so did Jeff Reineke. So Zach Buckholtz, it's the 9, 1, and 2 hitters here in the 5th. He'll be followed by Bill Fian. Buckholtz had a single and a run scored in the 3rd. His 4th at bat of the game. Floater towards left center, coming in, diving, unable to make the catch was Marone. And Buckholtz on hit of the day. 14 on the year. He steps to the plate. 2-run single in the. And first pitch to Fian as a called strike. Throw back to first, and Buckholtz dives in safely. Ground ball could be 2. The flip by LaCava to Cooney on to first for a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. So Fian hit it right up the middle. LaCava was there. And the Gothic Knights go 1-2-3 here after the 1-out single. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We head to the bottom of the 5th here in Auburndale. 8-7 Gothic Knights. Here's the rest of the schedule for you. As tomorrow the Gothic Knights will play their lone doubleheader of the trip at Pat Thomas Stadium in Leesburg, Florida. 2 7-inning games against your Sinus beginning at 10 a.m. The only 7-inning games are doubleheaders, as all other games have to be 9 innings. So on Tuesday, the Gothic Knights in Lakeland, Florida, will take on Gwynedd Mercy. That's a 10:30 a.m. first pitch. And they'll close the trip on Wednesday at 9:15 a.m. I got to wake up at 5 a.m. Oh, my gosh. And they'll play Muskingum right back here in Auburndale. So the shortstop, Cooney, it's in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, Cooney, LaCava, and Hoffer. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Guerra starting to settle down a little bit. And that's line to left field. Fees hit for Cooney. 9th hit for the Bearcats. So I'll bring up LaCava, who's looking for his first hit. He is struck out swinging, and he reached on a fielder's choice. That's low. Throw back to first, and Cooney's in standing. Sacrifice bunt attempt here, and retired is LaCava, 3 unassisted, as he forces Cooney into scoring position. So a sack bunt. And I'll bring up Hoffer. One away here, the number 9 hitter Hoffer. Struck out swinging and a sacrifice fly. Trying to tie this one up. It's been a crazy back and forth game. Attempt. And it's dropped by Berardi. Side of the bag. That's an E1. And runners now at second and third. Chopped ahead of the third baseman Ramos. Here comes Hoffer with a go-ahead run. St. Vincent on a 2-run single by the center fielder Luke Fox have taken a 9-8 lead.
First pitch? Yes.
Maroney goes to second base on that one. And Nick Cesare, the pitching coach, will have a conversation with Guerra. After the conversation on the mound, runners on first and second. Martin, the DH, steps in. Just one away after the Gothic Knights couldn't put away that sacrifice bunt. It results in an error on Guerra. And that curve goes over strike 2 here. The Gothic Knights had led 8-6. They now trail again as yet another change here in the score in what has been a seesaw game. The wind is carrying that one in left field. Bill Feehan has to sidestep laterally over into left center to make that catch. And Martin is retired. So 2 away now, and Finn steps to the plate. And that's low. Finn has scored once. He was hit by a pitch in the first, later scored, doubled in the second, and fouled out to the catcher in the fourth. So he's 1 for 2 today, reaching base twice. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-1. Six foot, 170-pound sophomore. He's from Peters Township High School. Gothic Knights women's soccer team had a 4-time all-conference goalkeeper from Peters Township High School, and that is hit down the left field line. That is a base hit. Marone, he scores. Fox is held at third. It's a 1-run single here by Finn, extending the lead for St. Vincent to 10-8. And that run is unearned. So the first is not earned, just crossed the plate. St. Vincent, their 11th hit. NJCU with 13. We are only in the bottom of the 5th. I predicted 22-20. We're on that way. That's off the plate. So Winkler steps in, the third baseman. He's had a pretty solid day so far. Single and a RBI and a ground out. Also has a strikeout. Throw over the first. Finn wasn't going anywhere. Winkler, 5'9", 180 from South Park, Pennsylvania. That is inside. No, you're not listening to a hurricane. That is the wind blowing through our microphone here in the booth as we are in the top of the 6th inning on a very windy day in Auburndale. The wind has already affected the outcome of this game. A home run that was blown over the right center field fence. One of the highlighted plays so far as the weather here in Florida, unpredictable. That one is hitting the air to center field, settling underneath it and making the catch is Fox on a 1-1 pitch to Nick Rossino, who prior to that pitch was 2 for 3 today with a couple RBIs. So a fly out to center, 1 away as the Gothic Knights have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up here in the 6th. So Dan Berardi and then Lennon Gomez at the plate. Berardi was hit by a pitch and scored in the third. He's 0 for 2 today. He also grounded out to third and fouled out to second. And as he called strike. And that's low and outside. And that's chopped to third. One hopper thrown on to first. And second time today, Berardi has grounded out 5-3. So Lennon Gomez, the DH for NJCU, steps to the plate. 2 for 3 today. A RBI single in the first, a single in the third, a strikeout swinging in the fourth. Hitting .500 early on in the season. He looks at strike one. That bounces off the plate back to us, and it's 1-1. That's hit in the air down the left field line. Backpedaling, and again the win is a factor as it's carried over the head of the left fielder. And there's a little controversy here as whether that's a home run or a ground rule double. Head coach Jerry Smith having a conversation with the home plate umpire Lou Bonacci. And there'll be a conversation at the field whether it's a home run or a double, as it carried over the head of left fielder Matt Marone. And they are saying it is a ground rule double. That's what I initially thought it was. It looked like it hit at the very edge of the track and took one hop over the fence. A long double by Gomez. We talked about the win, and you saw it on display there. So a double to left field, ground rule. And with 2 away, that could have gotten the Gothic Knights within 1, but instead it'll bring Joe Catino to the plate. Catino has out. He's 2 for... That is low. The pitcher, Davis, has now thrown 3 innings of scoreless baseball. He's allowed 3 hits, struck out 2, walked nobody. He is the pitcher of record as they called strike. He came in and replaced a Colden, the starter, into 2 2/3 innings, allowed 8 earned runs on 11 hits with a strikeout and a walk. And ground ball through the left side for a base hit. Gomez will stop at third. A 2-out single by Joe Catino, his 3rd hit in as many at-bats. So runners on the corners, and Jeff Reinecke will step in. He's singled, ground, or lined into a sharply hit double play and flown out to left. Reinecke hitting .500 through a game and a half. And that's lined to right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Gomez scores to make it 10-9. Catino with a very wide turn at second base and barely gets back in before the tag was applied by LaCava. But Reinecke again coming through. His family on the trip. They were actually on the same flight as me, and they are very happy right now as the Gothic Knights behind Jeff Reinecke now are within 1. So C.J. Pulsini now will step in, but not before a visit to the mound by the Bearcats. Jerry Smith, 6th-year head coach for the Gothic Knights, having a conversation with C.J. Pulsini. This wind is insane. I packed mostly shorts in this trip. I haven't worn a pair yet. Brought one jacket. Could have used two. It is not warm in Florida today. First pitch to C.J. Pulsini is outside for ball 1. Tying run at second base. 4 lead changes so far in this game. And we are only in the top of the 6th. And Pulsini lines it off of the glove of the diving third baseman Winkler. Rounding thirds Coutinho, he will score. All the way to third is Pulsini. And the Goth in a seesaw battle, it continues, and it's 10-10. So a double to third base. That would have been an incredible play by Winkler if he was able to make the catch. And that'll be it. Noon before that, new pitcher number 45, Luke, live from Florida. Now we're back here. New pitcher is Spizak. He will face Steven Ramos, one of the talented freshmen on this team. He's having a day for sure with 3 RBIs, 2 singles. And the Gothics have tied the game, but they got 2 runners in scoring position. And Ramos fouls that one back to the left side of the screen. In the morning on Saturday, I was on this 1 ball and 1 strike. My son, who plays travel low, so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 10-10 here in Auburndale, Florida. As a 10-10 ball game continues
to be entertaining. We're in the bottom of the Kilkiri. And it's a 1-1 count. Second, as Foley keeping an eye on the runners. And there are 5 Toms River players on this roster. The second to pitch so far today. That's off the plate, 3-0. Corey Nace, of course, the other. Corey Nace actually one of. We think the stream went out for a little bit. We apologize again as we are at the mercy of the weather. Looks like we're back 3-0 and Ferrone 10-10 deadlock. Good spot in the outside corner. Foley, a fan of the New York Mets and the Miami Dolphins. Both playoff teams last year. Can you say that? Three and two. Foley deals. Strike 3. Look at Foley comes in and he shuts down the Barrack with 2 men on, and he retires the final 3 batters on base. We head to the 7th in a 10-10. We think the stream is fixed. Buckholz, and he chops that to first base where it's caught by Finn. So a line out officially to first base. It'll bring up Bill Finn. Finn has a 2-run single in the 3rd. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st and later scored. He walked in the 2nd before grounding into a tough 4-6-3 double play in the 5th. We said her name before, but special thanks to our sound engineer. She doesn't know that's her job today, but Alyssa McCarney letting us know when we're on and off the air. That's high. It's now a 2-ball count to Racino. I think we're back on the air. Oh. That's a called strike, 2-1. Throw back to first, and Fian dives in safely. And ground ball to second base. Could be 2. The flip for 1, and that's going to be applied by Bill Fian. And Racino runs well anyway. Wasn't hit as hard as I thought it was initially. So just a fielder's choice. Retires the lead runner. So 2 away. It'll bring up Dan Berardi. Rip. Met his mom yesterday. Grounded out to 3rd for the 2nd time today in his last at bat. Popped 1.5 miles high, clips a space shuttle, and coming out of his glove for a wow 9-8 flyout. I've never seen that before and probably will never. Left on base. Our stat program won't even let me enter 9-8 because they've never seen it before. It won't go in the stat crew. We'll figure out how to score that, and we'll be back. You're watching Gothic Vision, 7th inning stretch here in Auburndale. So that's going to be a base hit by Fox, who just made that catch in center field, and he's aboard. Now we're back on the air, fans, and now Fox was caught stealing and then very slow to get off the field. He slid in hard to second base and was shaken up, helped off the field by his coaching staff and teammate. And it's a in the air, left field, going back his feet, and hit well over his head, and it's going to bounce off the track and against. Round the collision there between Ramos. Triple for Finn to left field. Martin scores, and St. Vincent here in the bottom of the 7th has regained the lead. The 5th lead change so far. It is 11-10. Hopefully we're back up on one pitch. Coming to Winkler with a runner on third. So 2-1 is the count. And that's ball 4. So Winkler walks, Finn is at third, runners on the corners for the right fielder, Kilkiri, here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kilkiri, 3 goal in the first, a single in the third. Away, a 2-run double for Kilkiri has extended the lead to 13-10 for St. Vincent here in the bottom. Well, we are allegedly back on the air. And Finn will step in, Cooney will step in, the shortstop. As a called strike, the new pitcher for NJCU, Anthony Zaccaro, the sophomore left-hander. And we will have a pinch hitter, the 5'7" freshman out of Pittsburgh. All right, we think we're back up here. Joe steps in. And a 1-1 pitch will be coming. Gomez at first base, he's stretching out. Looks like Gomez is hurt. Head coach Jerry Smith over having a conversation with him. I think the Gothic Knights are going to their bench. Didn't see what happened to Gomez, but that's a big loss for the Gothic Knights if he comes out, the designated hitter for NJCU. Now we're back up for the time being. We'll see how long this time it lasts. But Joe Coutinho, step plate fouls that one off the catcher. It's 2-2, but the Gothic Knights had to make a change. Did not quite see what happened to Lennon Gomez. But it looked like he was having a problem with his groin. He was trying to stretch it out. He's already had a broken nose this year, so he's had a tough start to his collegiate career. He's out, and Sean Earhart is in. He's the pinch runner. He started yesterday in right field.